Jagadvaram Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are now doing the Panchadasi 6th chapter, because that chapter we left halfway through and we took 7 to all the way to 15 chapters, and it is an extensive, very large book, and now we are back to 6 chapters so that we can complete that. In the 6th chapter, if you go to YouTube under Acharya Sadaji and ask for Panchadasi 6th chapter, there are the verses that are covered. There are 15 videos already there, and in that it covers up to the sloka 178, but there's a gap of some slokas of 58 to 74 are missing, that we just did in the past couple of days. Now we are going to continue this chapter from where we left, and we left it at 178. Now we will start with the 179. But before we go into 179, we'll just give a little brief background of what was discussed, or the current topic that was being discussed. In this chapter, 6th chapter, the Vidyaranya talks about the Ghatakasha, Jalakasha, and Meghakasha and Mahakasha. These 4 aspects of Akasha. Akasha is imperceptible, and that which is ever always there, all pervading. There is no space where space is not there, and yet the examples will say Ghatakasha. Ghatakasha is pot space. Pot space is the space within the pot, and if you put water in that, there is a reflection of the total space in the pot space. That is the local reflection of the total space in the reflected in the water. That is, we call it a Jalakasha. So Jalakasha and Ghatakasha, these are the 2 localized Akasha, and we are talking about the Meghakasha, as though assume that there are water drops all over in the cloud and reflecting the total space. So it's not limited by any particular akara, upadhi like the pot, but it is all over. And the Mahakasha, that's the one that is getting reflected. So it is a Mahakasha that's reflected in the Meghakasha, and also enclosed in the pot as a pot space, and also in the total space is getting reflected in the jala, in the water that is put in the pot. So we have 4 categories. One is the pot space, one is the Jalakasha, that is water in the pot, reflection of the total space in the pot. Then there is a Meghakasha, or cloud space, or reflection of the total space in the waters in the cloud. And the final one is the real total Akasha. And these 4 are compared to the Jiva and Jagat, Jiva, and the Kutastha Chaitanyam, and that is called Sakshi Chaitanyam, and Ishvara and Brahman. So Ishvara and Brahman related to the clouds, the space reflected in the clouds, and Mahakasha. Thus Ishvara and Brahman. Brahman is the only Akasha, real space. Everything is only reflected or as though enclosed in the Upadhi. In the Ghatakasha, that is a Jiva, and what is reflected in the water is total space as though reflected in the little water inside the pot. If you have another pot, there is also a Jalakasha which is different from this Jalakasha. If the Jalakasha means there is a reflection of the space in the water in the pot. If the pot's water is perturbed in the other pot, but not in this part, then that reflection in the other part may not be clear, while the reflection in this is clear. Is clear because there is no water is in the unperturbed state. So this is called Kutastha Chaitanyam, that means the local unperturbed space, but appearing in the reflection as though it is a jiva. So it is at the local level we have a jiva, and at the global level we have a Ishvara. Both are reflections of the total space, one in the local water and another the cloud water. All these things have been discussed exhaustively in the earlier slokas in this chapter. Now we are coming back to the Ishvara level, where after discussing some aspects of Jiva, now the Ghatakasha and the Jalakasha are discussed as a part of the Jiva, and we are now discussing about the role of Ishvara. Role of Ishvara is the Akasha reflected in the total, the cloud waters, you can say cloud waters, and that is a Mahakasha and is reflected there. So both are Pratibimbam, they are reflections of one Brahman which is eternal, and from the Brahman point, Akasha point, this has nothing to do with any of this, and that's what has to be understood also. So we will just review a couple of slokas in the back, 177 and 178, then going to take from today's text from 179, that's where the 178 we stopped, 179 on we will be continuing. In the 177 it says, Narya Purushakareneti eva masankyatam yataha Isha Purushakarasya rupenapi vivartate yataha Rupenapi vivartate Narya Purushakareneti eva masankyatam yataha Isha Purushakarasya rupenapi vivartate. So here we are talking about the Ishvara as a two aspects. The Brahman reflected in the Ishvara, and Ishvara means the one who is the lordship over that. That's what Ishvara means. That who is the Lord of the entire universe is Ishvara. And Ishvara has the two aspects involved, because one is, it says, he himself became many worlds, many things also. But in the Upanishads, he is also a controller of the phenomenal forces. So all the gods are nothing but phenomenal forces, are being controlled by that Maya Shakti, through Maya Shakti by Ishvara. Ishvara is the Mayavi. So he is a controller of the universe itself. So all forces are under his control. So wind has to blow, the fire has to burn, the water has to wait. All these so-called properties of the phenomenal, the phenomena that you call it, the five Panchabhutas, each has its own properties, and they follow their rules and regulations, and that is what is dictated by the Lord. Therefore he is called controller. So he controls the whole universe, and the whole universe is external one. That's what we call a Ishvara there. So also he is an inner controller also. Inner control means inside the body all the functions are also controlled by Ishvara. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Asritaha Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. I am as a Vaishvanara, controls Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana, in all beings. I am the one who controls. We think we are the one who control. No, even the breathing, even my folding hands is because of His grace only. I could even blink my eyes because of His grace. And I can talk and sound comes out because of His grace. And there may be time where I may not be able to fold my hand because He is withdrawing His grace. I could hear, I could see, I could touch and feel. All these, the functions of the Indriyas and everything are controlled by the Ishvara called Antaryamin. Antaraya means inner controller. So all the physiological functions inside are controlled by him. So the question was raised, if that is a controller, everything of mine, I cannot even walk a step, I cannot do anything of my own because Ishvara is controlling. If that is the case, then what good is that to do to me? So if everything is done, then why are you asking me to do some realization and all that? There is nothing to do with me because everything is under his control. So there is no purushartha involved. Everything is according to his rule, so he is going to dictate whether I have to suffer or not. He has to decide. So what good is that to me? That's what the question says. Don't think like that. In this 170 say, na arya. So aryaha purushakareneti eva ma sankyatam yatha. Don't doubt like that. Ma sankyatam yataha. Because Purushakarena, there is an effort by the individual at an individual level that comes slowly, because there is, even though he is an inner controller, and still I have a choice in the action. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. You have a choice in performing an action. So choice means I have the purushartha. I can do, not do, or do other way. I can follow a dharmic path or adharmic path. I can do whatever I elect, and I am accountable for this election. So even if I don't want to do it, I am accountable for not choosing the action, choosing the choice of not doing when doing is required. When something has to be done, and if I don't do it, I am responsible for it. If I get paid and I won't sit there in the office not to do anything, I have a choice of not doing it. Then they have a choice of kicking me out of the office. So one has to be careful. So he says, don't think that there is a Purushakarya is not there, Purushartha is not there. So why Ishaha Purushakarasya Rupena Api Vivartate. So even in the form of the Purushartha, all the Purushakarya, Ishvara is there. So therefore he is the, so it says even the Purushartha he is doing it. So people think that then I have no free will at all. Even what is our doing by the that one is by the Ishvara. Because this is what this says so. So Ishaha Purushakarasya Rupena. But the problem is, if I don't know that it is due to the Ishvara and take that I am doing it, that is your problem. So if I understood that Ishvara is doing everything, including this talking, including doing everything, then I can stand back and watch the tamasha going on as the Ishvara. That's what in fact Krishna says, Prakrutyaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha yah pasyati tadatmanam akartaram sa pasyati. Prakriti itself, the Prakriti is Maya, Prakriti Mayant Vidyam Prakriti. So Prakriti is Maya, Maya is Ishvara Shakti, and because of his power only, things are happening. So everything is done by Prakriti and with the Prakriti, in the Prakriti, and so on. Sarva Karmani, all actions, including from the breathing to doing dharmic actions or adharmic actions. That is the case, then if I understood, then I am free. In that case I am not doing, in that case I am not accountable for actions also. He in the form of this via my Prakriti is accountable. So if they put you in the jail for whatever has been done, don't claim that I am being put in the jail, because it's Ishvara that is being put in the jail, not you. Because he did it with this body, mind, intellect, and he is the one who is also putting in the jail also. So this is all tamasha, it becomes Jagan Natakam that you can sit and watch. But our problem is we understand only halfway and we don't understand completely. Here, even the so-called free will is not there, and say Lord himself is doing through this in the body, that understanding, if it really real, then I don't have the Purusha, the free will. But if I take the role that I am a Jiva, then I have Purushartha. Jiva is identifying myself with the body, mind, intellect. So that has to be careful here. 178, he said, that's also covered. Idrik bodhen ishvarasya प्रवृत्तिर्मैव वार्यताम् तथापि सस्य बोधेन स्वात्मा संगत्वधीजनिः. So idruk bodhenam. So what is the purpose of teaching? Everything is due to Ishvara and all that. And what is my role then? What should I do with this information? So either bodhena, by such understanding or teaching, Ishwarasya pravuttihi, as the inner controller of everything. So ma eva, therefore varyatam. So what should I do? So don't think like that. Say ma eva is uncalled for. Tadapi, because Ishwarasya bodhena, because Lord Himself taught also, Swatma asangatvadihi, for me to get detached from identification with the body, mind and intellect, so that I do not say I am acting. That is the problem. Why all this teaching? If everything is Ishvara, then what do I say do? If you understood that everything is Ishvara, problem is solved. That means you have no role, no identification with the body, mind, intellect. Everything is done by the Ishvara, but why am I suffering? Then you are not really understanding what he says. So you cannot suffer when everything is done by the Ishvara. Then it's the Ishvara only suffers, if at all. For him that's not a suffering, it's only a part of the vibhuti of the Lord. So therefore, he says, why swatma asangatvena? All this teaching is so that you do not, or you get detached from the identification that I am this body, mind and intellect, and therefore say that I had to do this, I had to do that, and I had to do that. All that is to be withdrawn. Asangoham punah punah sachidananda rupoham ahamiva avyaya. I am untouched and untouched I am. That's what this is. That is an understanding. If that understanding, or for that understanding only this teaching is. Now we take 179. Tavata muktiricchahuhu srutaya smutayastata Sruti smruti mamai vagnye Ityapishvara bhashitam together. Tavata muktiricchahuhu srutaya smutayastata smruti mamai vagnye Ityapishvara bhashitam. So where does Lord told that I should get detached from all this? And where did we? I never heard him saying anything to me. He says that is answered here. So Srutayaha Tatha Smrutayaha, both Shruti, that is the Vedas, because Vedas are passed on by word of mouth by the rishis, the Veda drashtas heard from the higher up, from the inner, when they are in the seat of meditation, it's revealed to them, and that's what they passed on. And therefore Srutayaha Tata Smrutayaha, in the same way, even the Bhagavad Gita and others, the spiritual textbooks. So Srutayaha Tata Smrutayaha Tavata, by that knowledge only, Muktihi, liberation, iti, thus ahuhu. So only by the process of detachment you get liberation. This has been said in the Shrutis and Smrutis, in the Vedanta as well as in the Bhagavad Gita. This has been said. Ahu smruti mama eva agyaha. So why should I listen to Smruti and Shruti? Because Ishvara himself says that they are my the agnya, the essentially commandments that are passed on through the scriptures and through the because Ishvara is being infinite, he passed on through. That's why it's called apaurusheyam. Apaurusheyam means it's not written by any particular human being within the creation. It's passed on generation to generation, and the original source is Ishvara himself. This is what he has said, and therefore we have to follow the statements that you can only get liberated by detaching yourself from attaching or identification with that I am this, I am this, I am this. So this is our fundamental problem, because I am is a subject and this is an object. I cannot be this. Even logically, what is scripture says and what Ishvara said through the scriptures is indeed true. Idi api, even that Ishvara bhashitam. These are the statements of the Lord only. So it is for our own good to follow the scriptural statement. And what does the scripture says? They do not or get detached. Asangaha. Detachment what? Detachment with attaching with something that doesn't belong to you. That's all detachment is. This is called attachment detachment technique. By attaching something higher, you can detach from lower. That's called sannyasa yoga. But we are so attached to our the equipment, this as I am this body, I am this mind, and I am this intellect, that so intense attachment. So anything happens to the body, my intellect, is happening to me. That's what called a jiva notion. First we have to de-identify using the discriminative intellect. We'll do 180. आज्ञया भीति हेतुत्वं भीषास्मादिति इति हि श्रुतं भीष्मादिति इति हि श्रुतं सर्वेश्वरत्वमेतत् स्यात् सर्वेश्वरत्वमेतत् स्यात् अन्तर्यामित्वतः पृथक् together. Agyaya abhiti hetutvam bhishaasmaditi itihi shrutam sarveshwaratvam etadsya antaryami tvataha prathak. So that's summarizing. There are two aspects of Ishvara is, one is the Agyaya Bhiti Hetutvam, his instructions as a matter of fear for all. So it is my Agyaya, the Shruti and Smruti are only indicating my commandments, and his commandments are taken also to the phenomenal forces that are the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, all those essentially also been ordered, Agnya, condition or commanded by you follow your regular the order that you have to follow. So the wind has to blow, the fire has to burn, the earth has to rotate, and the rotation around the earth in a particular orbit, all that is being dictated by what? Oh, that's a gravitational force. So what is gravitational force? How did that come into picture? Oh, that's nature. Nature itself is the Prakriti, that's Maya, that's what is the tool through which Ishvara controls. So the great Stephen Hopkins, I guess, says God did not create this world, it is the nature created it. So how did nature came into picture? That's what is Maya Shakti is. So Ajnaya Bhiti Hetutvam. So in this scripture that says that all the phenomenal forces, so Yama has to do his work, Indra has to do his work, every one of them. We have stories also, if they misbehave, the Lord puts them in the order. And we saw the Indra trying to get angry and becoming as though he is the real controller, and Krishna teaches him a lesson for him to follow. Even there is a lesson to Brahmaji also. So every one has to follow the rules and regulations. That is, by Bhiti Hetutvam, they are afraid of violating the laws. So interestingly, when Rama wants the sea to give way, then his sea does not listen. Then he gets angry and tries to say, I'm going to dry you up. At that time, the sea comes up, sea god comes up, please don't do it, I am only following your rules. because I have to follow your rules that you have set it, because I am not supposed to just give on any, but you can go in a different way. So he gives advice also. So Sarveshwaratvam, Sarva Ishwaratvam, so he is the omnipotent and omniscient, and therefore he has the capacity to control everything, as well as Antaryamitvam. So he is also inner control. He is the external control outside of all phenomenal forces. The sun rises, sun sets, and the wind blows. Everything occurs on and on and on. The earth rotates around itself, creating the day and night, and earth rotates around the sun, creating the seasons and all that. Everything year by year and day by day, everything methodically occurs. That's because of the power. If the clouds doesn't cover, that's also part of the Ishvara Srishti only. So everything is part of the Ishvara. There is nothing I can do, control. All we can do is predict where the tufan is, so that we can vacate it. We cannot control the tufan or the storm, and all it are anything that phenomenal forces. All we can do is to try to predict certain things so that we can save ourselves and get out of its way. That's what is important. So there are two aspects of it. One is the external controller, that is called of phenomenal forces and all that, and as said, he gives the karma paladata. He gives the results of the action. When I perform the action to the world returns back with the result, and that's what is called the results of the action is. And inner controller also within the body, all the physiological functions. I can think, I can use my memory, and my memory starts going down because all capacity, my capacity to hear is going down. That's also part of Ishvara Agnya only. If I understood everything, just stand back and enjoy. 181. Etasya va aksharasya echasya va aksharasya prasasana iti srutihi antah pravishtaha syastayam jananamiti cha srutihi together. Etasya va aksharasya prasasana iti srutihi anta pravishtaha syastayam jananam iti cha srutihi. So etasya va aksharasya, oh, this is where did this say that I am controlling and all that? And this is again from the scripture it says, and here they argue, this is a discussion in the Brihadaranyaka by the Yajnavalkya to Gargi. O Gargi, ekasya va aksharasya, of this immaculate, the aksharam, indestructible, it's called aksharaha, the indestructible nature of the Lord or self, prashasani, by its direction, shasanam is by its agnya, by his commandments, prashasani, under the direction of his, everything is done. It is srutihi. So this is what Gargi etasya aksharasya prasasane, by the direction of that aksharaha. Akshara is what is being used for that which does not. Akshara means destruction. Aksharaha is that which is indestructible. That means which is eternal, and that Brahman alone. And he is the controller of this, O Gargi. That's what Yajnavalkya says in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So there is a Shruti statement. It is Shrutihi. That's what this Shruti. I am this Lord, Antapravishtaha, by entering in all, Jananam, in all beings, Shasta, controller. Iticha, even that also, Srutihi, is also declaration in this Shruti. I enter into the beings and control everything. That also Lord says. He controls everything outside. He controls. He is both Antaryamin as a inner controller, and he is the Ishvara of the external controller. Both have been said in the scriptures. So Lord is both Antaryami and Ishvaraha. Stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం.